Have you noticed how everyone's suddenly into mindfulness? It's like every second app or book has mindfulness in the title.
Yeah, I've seen it everywhere too. But do you ever wonder if it's just hype? Or is there something deeper to it?
Is mindfulness just another passing fad, or is there real substance behind the hype? You see it everywhere: apps, books, even luxury retreats promising peace in 7 days. But is mindfulness truly the answer to modern-day stress, or just the latest self-help craze? Let's dive into the history, science, and future of mindfulness and ask whether it still holds meaning in a world of constant distraction. Is mindfulness just another trend? There's no denying mindfulness has gone mainstream. What began as a niche interest has now exploded into a cultural movement. Celebrities talk about it on podcasts. Tech giants host mindfulness seminars for employees. Schools introduce mindful breathing to children. And it's not just talk. Between 2020 and 2023, downloads of mindfulness apps skyrocketed by over 300%, according to a 2023 study published in the Journal of Behavioral Sciences. The corporate world, healthcare systems, even prisons, all are tapping into mindfulness practices as a tool for focus, stress reduction, and emotional resilience. But with this rise, a question quietly lingers beneath the surface: is the version of mindfulness we see today rooted in something deep, or has it been stripped of its soul? To answer that, we need to look back. Mindfulness isn't new. Its roots stretch back thousands of years to ancient Eastern traditions, particularly Buddhism and Hinduism. In Buddhist teachings, mindfulness, or sati, is a foundational path to enlightenment. Practiced through meditation and observation of the present moment, it was designed not as a life hack, but as a method to deeply understand the nature of reality, suffering, and the mind. The Buddha, in the 6th century BC, taught that through cultivating awareness of thoughts, breath, and sensations, one could break free from suffering and live with greater compassion and clarity. These weren't abstract ideas. They were lived practices, passed down through generations, tools for inner peace long before the modern world needed them. But does ancient wisdom hold up to modern scrutiny? Science says yes. Over the past 2 decades, a growing body of research has examined mindfulness with the same rigor used to evaluate medical treatments. And the findings are compelling. Mindfulness has been shown to reduce stress, lower anxiety, and improve emotional regulation. Functional MRI scans reveal that regular mindfulness practice can change the structure and activity of the brain, enhancing regions responsible for attention and empathy, while reducing activity in areas linked to stress and fear. In clinical settings, mindfulness-based interventions like mindfulness-based stress reduction are now used to treat anxiety, depression, chronic pain, and even addiction. This isn't just philosophy, it's neurobiology, and it's changing how we understand the connection between mind and body. Beyond the hype, is mindfulness sustainable? Still, even with all this science, there's a catch. The very popularity of mindfulness has led to its dilution. Branded meditation cushions, overpriced retreats, and Instagram influencers selling mindful mornings all raise concerns about commodification. When mindfulness becomes a product, is it still mindful? In 2025, the Center for Mindfulness Studies released a report warning of this very issue. Their conclusion: mindfulness must go deeper than surface-level practice. To be sustainable, it must be authentic, integrated into life not as an escape, but as a way of living with intention. The risk isn't mindfulness itself, it's forgetting what it's truly about. Future-wise, where does that leave us? It leaves us with potential and responsibility. Mindfulness, when practiced with sincerity and consistency, can be transformative. It helps us notice our thoughts without becoming them. It teaches us to respond instead of react. It gives us space to breathe, not just physically, but emotionally. And most importantly, mindfulness reminds us that we are not passive participants in our own lives. We can choose presence. We can choose compassion. We can choose to slow down in a world that never stops. But it's not about apps or aesthetics. It's about showing up for yourself, for others, and for this moment. If you've been curious about mindfulness, try it. Not for the hype, but for the quiet. Not to impress anyone, but to reconnect with yourself. Because in a world obsessed with speed, stillness is radical. And mindfulness might just be the revolution we need. Have you tried mindfulness before? What's worked for you and what hasn't? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.